I really want to ask this because rarely do I meet someone who's been, all over the place and who has been to so many places in China. I have not been to all that many places in China. And I want to know that, have you noticed anything that underlines the civilization? Like, what are some common elements of the civilization? Because, you go across China, there are people speaking different dialects. Even like Shanghai dialects sounds like just a foreign language to me. And then you've been in Guangxi. I don't think I've ever been to Guangxi. It sounds really remote. It's big. Yeah. It's somewhere out there. And you've been to the mountainous areas. There are 56 ethnic groups in China. But have you noticed common elements in ways that make them Chinese?
Well, I mean, there's certainly a common pride. Like everybody is proud that I meet. They're proud of what they've been able to accomplish. They're proud of where they're at, and they're also proud of where they're going. You see that every night in the local Guangxi, where you have everybody dancing and everybody's like, there's a bit of a stagnation in a lot of the world where people are like too comfortable and they don't go out and they're not pushing forward the way that I see people pushing forward in Asia and China. And you see this sort of like this energy. It's like probably what America felt like in its boom time, back when, when things were like, there was new land and new people to be explored. And there was these new industries and these new, like the cotton gin was invented. And there was all these like big steps forward that America was like on the forefront of. And there was all this feeling of opportunity and forward momentum. And I feel like, no matter where you are in China, you got this forward momentum. It's like when I was in Xinjiang or Turpan. I was in Turpan and I was looking at there were these chasms or something. There were like these underground water aqueducts that were pulling water from the mountains that were feeding the most arid parts of almost the world, at least China. And, people could not exist without these aqueducts. And I remember meeting a guy who was a Uyghur, and he was, he had the biggest smile. This guy had
bigger than yours?
Way bigger. His smile ate my smile. But he was such a nice guy. And he was so proud because his great-great-grandparents dug the original aqueducts that fed the city. And there was like this, it was interesting because this ancient form of irrigation was feeding this city's livelihood. Like without those, that was still delivering fresh water to this city, which was a big city. So you had this like sort of, it was like this weird physical manifestation of the idea of the forward movement of this culture providing energy and sustenance to the future. You know what I mean? Like it was like, and here he was part of it, like an actual cog in the chain. And he wasn't what a typical Westerner would think of as being Chinese, but he was very proud of the fact that he was able to help hit in his lineage and his place. What he did actually, he created this facility that honored the idea of these water aqueducts in the area. So like he actually invested a lot of his own energy and his own money into creating this like,
it's like a museum
tourist. Yeah. It's a really, I got an episode about it. It's pretty interesting, but